Hey fragrance friends and enthusiasts, welcome back. It's Benjamin here at the Centaur Fragrance channel, and I think I found a beautiful incense for you guys and gals. I think this is one of the best incenses on the market, so stay tuned. This is probably something you want to watch, but before we jump into it, you know how to help me down below if you find that you like this video. I'm exploring beautiful fragrances, sharing them with you. If you want to help me out, if you want to follow me, subscribe, all that good stuff, you know how to do it down below. So let's jump into this one. Vetiver Royal Bourbon from the house of Oriza Legrand. A beautiful high-end, incense and vetiver fragrance. It's called, Royal Bourbon because there's actually bourbon vetiver, if you didn't know. It's not necessarily because it's boozy. It's because it's a certain style of vetiver, and I feel like it does. Perhaps maybe I'm tricking my mind or tricking my nose. Perhaps it does have some vetiver. Maybe it does have some boozy nuances, but it has a richness to it, a full-bodied quality to it, and it's a beautiful vetiver. It's actually maybe my favorite, maybe slightly less than Haitian vetiver, and it's very well done here. This is the best bourbon vetiver that I've ever smelled. It's very well done. It does have, again, rich, almost boozy nuances to it, and also one of the biggest components to this fragrance, you cannot talk about this fragrance without mentioning the incense. This fragrance is very strong on the incense. It also has a little bit of musk, a little bit of sensuality. I wouldn't say that this really has animalics to it, but it does have some full-bodied sensuality to it and some musk. But overall, this is kind of a simple DNA. There are more notes, but I'm just going to talk about how this fragrance makes you feel. To me, this feels like you walk into a Catholic church or a cathedral or wherever you are familiar with worship. People are burning frankincense in the air, and recently, for some reason, all the pews or all the seats that are made out of wood, they decided to refinish them and put a very distinct wax on all of them. So there's this clean incense. There's this resinous, woody nuance coming from all the wood, and maybe some people decide to stumble in that were half drunk at the very back of the church. So this fragrance here, this is a special fragrance. It's very strong on the incense, very long lasting. We'll talk about that performance here in a second. Also, I don't think it's listed as a note, but I get a nuance of citronella, and that's not a bad thing, but it does have this, slightly piercing, clean, almost like sterile type of citrus nuance. I get a tiny nuances of that, but I don't get a lot of it. But to me, it's definitely an aspect of this fragrance. I can pick up on it. But overall, it's a rich, full-bodied vetiver, very incensey. Again, it's not really boozy. It doesn't have a lot of booziness, but it tricks you. It makes you think that there's some here, especially when the average person sees bourbon. It's also vintage in style. This is a vintage formulation. This definitely speaks to the old world charm, old world elegance. It's not exactly a powdery fragrance, but perhaps it has some of those nuances to the fragrance. And this is an incense that's clean. It's bright. Again, I want to say that because I see so many people who say incense smells smoky to them. When somebody says smoky, when I think of smoky, I think of birch tar. I think of heavy, dark, aggressive, maybe even aggressive smoky nuances. I think of soot. I think of ashes. I think of maybe even ink. To me, this is, for some people, might smell smoky because they associate the smoke with incense, but this is refined. This is elegant. This is something that deserves to be around the finest of wines and foods and the best that the world can offer, and fine paintings. Think like Michelangelo. This is charming stuff. I do have some mixed feelings, though, we'll talk about at the end of the video, but I do have to tell y'all, it's a beautiful creation. Very well composed. Quality is excellent. And if you're an incense lover, this is certainly something you have to try. And if you're a vetiver lover, if you're really deep into vetivers, this also might really be worth seeking out. Performance-wise, this is no slouch. This is excellent performing. Honestly, I wish it performed even less. Honestly, I wish it had more citruses off the top, and it didn't last as long. I sprayed this on my hand. It was really only one spray, and it kept me up. It actually bothered my sleeping one time. and it'll give you 12 hours plus, no doubt about it. And it'll linger and linger and linger. This one has excellent longevity. Projection is above average. It's actually very, very strong, especially if you're in the heat. This can actually choke people out and fill up a room. Incense has serious power to it if you've never experienced an incense before like this. And also, sillage is quite good as well. When you walk past people, people can pick up on it. So performance is not lacking. It'll definitely give you what you want. Compliment factor, this was nostalgic for people. Some people, it was kind of special to them because it gave them a memory. It reminded them of those memories with perhaps churches, or perhaps being around a family or people who burnt incense. But for a lot of people, it just smelled very clean. Not in an aquatic way or a fresh way with citrus, but it felt clean, as in I guess pristine, or in that church sense of clean. And also it did come off as kind of fancy. And also, because it's a little bit sour, this isn't really a sweet fragrance with modern aspect to it. It doesn't have tonka and the dry down. It doesn't have vanilla. It doesn't have anything like that going on. So this fragrance can feel perhaps a little old-fashioned or stuffy to some people, but it definitely has elegance and charm to it. It definitely can get compliments, but it's probably not the biggest compliment getter fragrance in the world. Getting into my final thoughts and the price, if you're lucky, you can get these bottles for around 150, but they really creep up there to 200, a little over 200. I think the price is warranted and justified, but I personally, for me personally, I would prefer more citruses to at least be on the top, and I would like more complexity. Maybe some nutty nuances that would have been lovely in this fragrance. To me, this is a little bit simple for my taste, and again, it's a little bit too strong on the incense. That's my personal preferences. Again, lots of people love citrus, so more citrus definitely would have helped. And honestly, some tea like nuances would have been welcome here. A lot of people would have loved chamomile in here, a lot of chamomile. That's not really my vibe. That's not one of my favorite notes, but it would have worked very well. Or you could have gone down the road of Immortelle. Honestly, I've seen lots of fragrances recently, especially if you're deep into the niche game. I've seen a lot of fragrances using Immortelle recently, and it's not something that I really look forward to in fragrances, but this composition could have definitely taken full power and taken a lot from and benefited a lot for building this accord and this fragrance around Immortelle. Anyways, not a bad fragrance. It's very well done for what it is. I think it's a little bit simple. I think I do like incense. Jubilation 25 by Amouage has a lot of frankincense, and it's one of my favorite notes. But do I like this sour type of almost powdery type of incense that can fill up rooms and has that old world type of feeling? It's not my personal favorite, but this is high quality stuff. And if that is your type of fragrance, this one might work for you. And again, maybe I didn't show this bottle off enough. Guys, this is fancy juice in a fancy bottle. And for incense lovers, this is probably going to be a dream come true. And for vetiver lovers too, again, recommend that you try it. So what are your final thoughts, everybody? What do you think about this fragrance? How did it sound? Did I describe it well enough? Did I do it justice? Do you like that I don't really dive into the notes or the compositions too much? I just talk about how it feels and some small elements of the fragrance. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, of course, let me know, what's your scent of the day, and support this channel. If you like what's going on here, and you at the end of this video, what are you doing? Why don't you help me out down below? You know how to do it. I don't have to ask, but guys, have a beautiful day, ladies and gents. Hope that you enjoyed my review today, exploring a fragrance that's a little bit less known, maybe a little bit less popular, but certainly well crafted and deserving at least of a mention or two in the fragrance community. So Vetiver Royal Bourbon, you did a great job. You did a good one. I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good day. Smell beautiful, my friends. I know that you are. Wear what you love and find those fragrances that you love, and that's what this channel is all about. So I'll see you in the next video, and maybe you'll find a new love next time. And I'll see you, everybody. Peace out, and bye.